most players struggle with positioning, deciding when to push, how far to push, and how far to be from cover. And I created the red light, green light rule to simplify it for you. So first, what is red light, green light? If you don't know what it is, bro, did you even watch Squid Game? But assuming you don't, red light, green light, long story short, is one person stands in a spot and your goal is to get as close to them as possible without getting seen while you're moving. So they'll say green light, they'll turn around and then you run up to them. But as soon as they turn around, they'll say red light. And once they say red light, you have to be not moving at all. And no, I'm not saying that's how you should be doing in real games. You shouldn't just, oh no, the enemy's looking at me. But if I don't move, they won't see me. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'll explain it in a little while. But first, the big problem that we're trying to solve is how far are we from cover, or where is cover relative to where we are? Because most players just kind of run down main and just go straight at the enemy team. And this isn't an exclusively DPS thing. Tanks shouldn't be running up like that. Support shouldn't be running up like that. Nobody should just be running straight down main most of the time. There are times that you should be, which we'll get into in a little while, but in general, nobody should be running down main. But when you go in a game, you'll see everybody runs down main. Or when they try to use cover, they overuse it. Or whenever they're trying to fight, they don't know, should I be in cover now? Should I not? Or how do I even do damage when I'm in cover? How do I keep my damage up if I'm always hiding in cover or I'm always close to cover? And we're going to go through all of that. Now, the reason why it's so important to master when to use cover is because not only do you obviously take more damage if you're not in cover, you don't get to control the fight if you're not near cover. And what do I mean by that? How many times have you been 1v1ing someone and they keep peeking as soon as you look away, or they keep peeking out of cover as soon as you're shooting somebody else? And then once you go to shoot them, they're gone. And then they do it again, and then they do it again. And you keep losing that way. Or let's say it's a Psylocke and she's in the back line and she does like half your health. You turn to see where she is, she's gone. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and you never actually get to catch them. The whole thing about this is whoever has cover, or whoever masters the red light, green light rule, controls the flow of the fight. They control when people fight, when people engage, how the fight goes, how long the fight lasts. They control all of that. And you don't want to let the enemy team control it. So how do you solve it? Now, in red light, green light, when you turn around, you have to completely stop moving. Instead of stopping moving, you want to think about whenever someone says red light, you have to get in cover, which means, let's say you have a super long hallway. If there's a super long hallway with no doors on the side, no cover on the side, what's the chances of, if someone says red light, that you'll be able to hide? 0, right? So you want to be able to master how far you are from cover at all times. 90% of the game, you don't want to be caught out away from cover. Now, the problem is, when I first started teaching people this, a lot of people did it wrong, or they said, but when do I not do it? Or I found that I was in cover too much, I wasn't in the fight. And this happens. This is actually the most common problem I've seen with this rule, and we'll go into it in a second on why. But before we do, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you subscribe. Only like 10% of you are subscribed, so help me hit 100,000 subscribers. Also, if you've ever wanted free VOD reviews, free Q&A, and a free aim routine and Marvel Rivals guide, I'm running a sale for only October where you can join my lock-in tier completely free. All you have to do is head in the description, click the top link, and then use the code 1YEAR at checkout. And if you decide to stay, it's only $20 a month after that. Now, for the common mistakes, one of them is overusing cover. A lot of people, when they hear this, they don't know, okay, so when should I be using? When shouldn't I? And because of that, they completely get rid of their damage uptime. A lot of positioning is managing your damage uptime and minimizing the enemy's damage uptime on you. So the general rule I like to give to myself is, if I'm in cover for more than 4 seconds, I would say maybe even a little bit less sometimes, depending on the situation, but more than 4 seconds, and I'm above 70-80% health, then I should re-peek. Now, this isn't always true, because if you're a flank character, or if you're someone waiting on a off angle or whatever, or you're waiting for your team, or just the entire enemy team is watching you, obviously don't swing into that, you know? You're not just going to, oh, well, he said do this, let's just, all right, guys, I'm swinging. Obviously wait. But in general, a few seconds in cover is the most you should be doing if you don't have a reason to be hiding, if you understand what I mean. So your health isn't low, the whole enemy team isn't watching you, you're not waiting to make a play, your team is still with you. If all that's true, you shouldn't really be in cover for more than a couple seconds. Now, the The next thing is not pushing when your team has advantage. The red light, green light rule kind of just gets thrown right out the window once you guys have an advantage. Now, it might be common sense, but it's like, if you guys are winning the fight, we don't need to hide, right? If we're winning the fight, we don't need cover. We don't need a lot of things because let's say they're down 3 and we're up already. We still have a whole 6-man. There's no chance they beat us, right? Unless something seriously goes wrong. And just because you're ignoring the red light, green light rule doesn't mean you shouldn't still be, instead of maybe 2 steps away from cover, 5 steps. And that actually ties into the generalization. So to simplify it, long story short, the red light, green light rule is about never being more than 2 steps away from cover at all times. Unless, of course, you have a reason to be away from cover or you have advantage or there's no real risk to make the play. Now, you could also turn it into from 2 steps to maybe like a second and a half, but you should always be relatively close to cover. Some form of cover. It doesn't have to be like a tunnel or a corridor or whatever. It could be one little rock on the map. It doesn't matter what it is as long as you can use it in case someone starts shooting you. And then the last thing that a lot of people do wrong is they never go for plays. The problem with a lot of positioning rules or positioning tips is a lot of people take it too literally. You shouldn't always play safe because if you always play safe, you'll never be able to take space. You'll never be able to actually make any plays. You'll never be able to test what you're capable of. And you won't know how far is too far for you and for your games. Because let's say I'm on a silver account, right? Or if I'm in gold, I completely ignore this rule. I pretty much play as far from cover as possible because I'm just trying to see the enemy so I can win the fight with them. That's all I'm doing. Nothing more. The whole goal I have when I'm playing in lower ranks is ooga booga, me push, me see you, me kill you. That's it. And you might be actually higher skill level than what your rank shows. So you might be able to play farther from cover, or you might be able to push up more than you thought. But if you're always listening to, oh, well, he said 3 steps, and you never try, let's say 5 steps away from cover, you're not going to actually be able to rank up because you're always going to put yourself in a box of skill almost. Anyways, if you guys like free stuff and you want to try and get weekly free VOD reviews, free Q&A, and all the other stuff, you only have till the end of October, so make sure you join in the link in the description. And check out this video so you don't waste another day queuing for ranked incorrectly. I love you guys. Have a good one. God bless you.